Have you ever wondered if a girl didn't text you back because she thought you didn't look good enough for her? Have you ever wondered if you were better looking that you would get more matches on Bumble, Tinder, and all the dating apps? If you have, you are not alone. It's happened to me too. In fact, it happened to me all the time when I was starting out. One time I even had a girl tell me to my face, "You're just not good looking enough to date me and my girlfriends." So the question of the day I present is, do your looks matter as a single guy? And I get this question a lot in my DMs. In my humble opinion, if you don't have any game, right? You don't know how to talk to women, you don't know how to express yourself, looks matter a lot. But if you have game, looks matter about, on average, 50%. That number can go up to 90% in an environment where there's a loud club and there's only a few seconds of judgment time. Yeah, it could be a big factor. With proper game, right? And by game, that includes your style, the way you dress, your nonverbals, the way you come across. You don't have to be the best looking guy, but you have to be at least presentable. What does presentable mean? You have a hairstyle that fits your face type. You're at least clean. Your shoes match your outfit. Today's environment, everyone's either video gaming or doing online dating, right? We've lost this old school, when we didn't have the internet, we had to interact face to face. So if you're not convinced that your looks are not the most important thing, let me give you some examples. I have a client in New York City. He's on the outskirts in Brooklyn, and he has this townhouse that's 4 bedrooms. He Airbnbs out 3 of the bedrooms. And in one of the bedrooms, he reserves it. I mean, he accepts everybody, but he particularly accepts girls, European girls that are traveling, that are staying there, okay? And he has told me that he has gotten laid more from that than anything else he's doing in New York, including online dating, including going out every day. He's not a good-looking guy at all, but he understands what we call the setup. He's created a setup where over time, girls get to interact with him and get to know his personality. And the longer time frame you have, the less your looks become a factor as a guy. So if you're in class with the same girl, if you are in the same dance group, if you're on a hiking trip for the weekend, you have time to spend with the girl, the more game you have, the more likely it is that she's gonna like you, despite the fact that you don't look like a male model. I have a client in college. He is self-described, overweight, not good looking. He didn't believe that he could get the girl. 3 months of coaching, one day he tells me, "Giovanni, I cannot believe it. I went up to this girl at the library and she talked to me for an hour." I'm like, "That's great." Then a month later, he tells me, "I have a girlfriend now." And I'm like, "Congrats, was it the same girl from the library?" And he said, "No, I just realized I could talk to people and it's okay." And by learning the basic communication skills that I taught him in our one-on-ones, he ended up with a beautiful girlfriend. He is not traditionally good looking. He does have the advantage of getting his master's degree, so he's on campus, and the campus environment is a little friendlier than, say, going to the club by yourself. That being said, he broke through, right? Because he was able to express himself fully, and eventually he met a girl who really liked him. Third example, I have a guy in Europe. He's not a male model, but he could be if he wanted to. Blonde hair, blue eyes, Chad-looking features. And on my first call with this guy, I'm like, "What do you think I can help you with? Because you know you're a good-looking guy, right?" And he's like, "Yes, I know, but I feel sad." And I'm like, "Why do you feel sad?" And he tells me, says, "I'm at the club with my friends, right? Everyone thinks I can get girls, and girls do come up and talk to me." And right there I stop. I'm like, "Bro, do you realize how rare that is for girls to come up to talk to guys? Most guys don't get that." And he was like, "Yeah, I can feel that." And he's like, "Here's the problem. When they come talk to me, I always say the wrong thing or I don't know what to say. And then after about 5 minutes, they leave and I'm just like, I don't know what to do." He described it to me like he was looking through the glass pane windows, to a really delicious dessert store. And you see all these beautiful desserts and you're just like, "I want it," but the door's closed because the shop is closed and you can't get in. He said that's what it felt like for him. So here's a really good looking guy who didn't know how to talk to women. Now, with training, he got better and he got results quickly because he already had the looks, right? And life is not fair like that, but we can't dwell on that. My point is, as a man, your looks are more flexible when it comes to attraction. For women, a guy's value, right, his attractiveness is kind of like a moving scale. It moves, almost like a stock ticker. For guys, it's not the case. Play 2 thought experiments with me, if you will. Imagine that you see a girl, and she's an average-looking girl. But the more you talk to her, the cooler she is, the more feminine she is. She's sweet, she's fun. She volunteers at the dog shelter. the more positive traits that she exhibits in her femininity, imagine she gets hotter, her hair grows longer, her features become more feminine, her lips get fuller, her boobs grow bigger, okay? Based on her personality. Now imagine another girl who's super hot, but the more you talk to her, the uglier she gets, okay? There's a scene in Shallow Hal where he starts seeing people's inside externally. And you can see like the overweight girl is beautiful, Gwyneth Paltrow, and then the girl that's supposed to be beautiful becomes ugly. Now imagine if that was the case for men. Well, guess what? For women, that is literally what's happening because they're biologically hardwired to respond to behavior. Because women have replication value, but they're looking for survival value. What that means is your behavior over time can change your attractive score by a lot. It's just that most guys don't know how to, over time, communicate their value. And so therefore, people think, it's just how you look and that's it. That's the only thing that matters. Now, second thought experiment, okay? This actually happened to me. I was in the Bay Area, one of the worst single female to single male ratios in the country. I did a video about it right here. And I remember I was on a date and this girl was so accomplished. She is a senior manager at a fan company. She had a master's degree in some really fancy school. And she was telling me all these things, right? And I'm like, man, that is so cool. I definitely want to work with you. But no matter what she said, I did not find her attractive. In fact, she could have cured world hunger, she could have cured cancer, she could have made everyone live forever. I still wouldn't have found her sexually attractive. Okay, there was nothing she could have done for me to find her attractive besides switch bodies. And as men, not every guy's like me, to be fair, but as men, our brains are hardwired to respond to physical beauty. And behavioral changes don't affect our attraction as much. Now, if we're raising a family, if we're raising a child, we do take those into consideration, but it's not biologically hardwired. The hardwired evolution just happens to assess, does she have the right health indicators? Will the offspring have good DNA? Okay, so we look for hair quality, skin quality, nail quality, curves, facial symmetry, lips, big eyes. Those are all health indicators for good genetics, right? They can be fake these days with plastic surgery, but those are the indicators that our brains are wired to respond to. I play these two thought experiments with you because it's a great story to kind of understand that as men, we're lucky. We have a different shelf life in terms of sexual marketplace value over time. We have more dynamicism, is that a word? Dynamicism to express ourselves and affect our attraction value.